Who would win? 1 billion lions or one of every Pokemon? If you've been on the internet for long enough, chances are you've probably heard this debate at least once. And in my opinion, I think it's insane how so many people can say the lions are winning this fight. Even Jack Black of all people agrees with them.
Who would win in a fight? 1 billion lions or one of every Pokemon?
1 billion lions or one of every Pokemon.
Yeah. Yes, that is the question.
I'm gonna go with 1 billion lions.
That's the correct answer. That's all we needed. Let's go!
But what if I told you that to beat 1 billion lions, you don't need one of every Pokemon? What if I told you that you only needed one single Pokemon? Hello everyone, my name is Edson, and today I plan to bring an end to this godforsaken debate that is so painfully one-sided it's not even funny. But I hear you asking, who could solo 1 billion lions? And if you didn't already see the title and thumbnail, I believe that the only Pokemon you need to beat the lions in battle is the legendary Pokemon Rayquaza. However, before I explain how the fight could go out, we'll need to set some ground rules, because this debate has been all over the place ever since it was asked, because no one has been able to agree over the rules of the fight. To start, a lot of people use the Pokédex as their main source of evidence for the Pokemon's ability. Some even use the game mechanics as their primary reference. But I'm not using either of those, because they're impossible to properly explain and measure. Like, what are the stats of a lion? Are they just pyro or something else? We don't know. And when it comes to the Pokédex, do you seriously believe that Magcargo is actually hotter than the surface of the sun? No. Instead, I'll be looking strictly at in-game events to quantify the Pokemon's strength. Also, I'm not taking into account the anime for the same reason as the Pokédex, because there's a whole lot of bullshit going on there that I do not want to get into. As for the lions, I'll try to give them a bit of an upper hand, since they definitely need one, and say that they're all male lions and are all the highest average size. That being around 550 pounds, or 250 kilograms, around 10 feet or 3 meters in length including their tails, and around 4 feet or 1.2 meters tall on all fours. And they're also like super pissed or something. So now we have a general idea on how to measure their strength, but where does the fight even happen? I mean, 1 billion lions is a lot of lions, so we need a place to accommodate all of them. Well, I did the math, and by that I mean that I asked ChatGPT for the answer. And to accommodate 1 billion lions, you would need approximately 58 times the total land area available on Earth. And obviously, you know, we don't have that. So, for the sake of this video, let's say that the fight takes place in a flat arena of sorts with an atmosphere similar to Earth, and with everything the lions would need for survival. Basically just a Minecraft super flat world. So, now that we have a rule set, let's take a look at our competitors, starting with Rayquaza. For this video, I'm mainly going to be looking at Oras's Delta episode for evidence, as I think it'll give us the strongest possible advantage against the lions. So here's a super brief summary. In the Delta episode, a giant meteor is about to crash on Earth, and the character Zinnia believes that Rayquaza can stop it. So she steals a bunch of keystones to summon Rayquaza. And it shows up, but it can't Mega Evolve because it lacks enough energy. Fortunately, all it needs is for you to give it the little meteorite that you have as a little snack, and boom, now it can Mega Evolve. Then Rayquaza goes up into space, destroys the meteor, which releases Deoxys, you fight it, and that's pretty much it. But what does this tell us about Rayquaza? Well, I'm glad you asked, me. Mainly this tells us two things. One, Rayquaza can Mega Evolve without the need for a Mega Stone. And two, Rayquaza can go into outer space and survive in it, at least for a period of time. Which means that Rayquaza just needs to fly off into space and the lions can never reach it. But I know what the lion believers are gonna say. The lions can just make a lion ladder and reach Rayquaza. Well, it's about time I gave you a reality check, because most of you lion believers really do not understand how utterly fucked the lions truly are. A lot of the points that people use to support the lions winning are, quite frankly, some of the stupidest shit I have ever heard.
Lion rocket.
No.
Lion slingshot.
I categorically reject the notion of a lion slingshot. That's ridiculous.
So imagine 2 New York's worth of lions, a sea of lions all packed together. And now just drop the Pokemon in that same space. I don't care what moves they have to wait their turn to fight.
They live in the desert. It's literally the desert, the harshest environment there could be.
Now go somewhere cold, which is what I will do.
Lion jacket.
Don't look at me like that.
Like, bro, do you honestly believe that 1 billion lions have not only the mental capacity and teamwork required to pull off a stunt like this, but also the physical strength needed to stay balanced enough to even reach flying Pokemon? Like, it's shit like this that makes me believe that lion supporters are either A, lying to cause a reaction, or B, they're delusional. Maybe even both. There's literally nothing I can possibly think of for the lions to do to win. Cause what are a bunch of big cats going to do to the literal god of the sky? But let's say that maybe the lions can pull off some of the bullshit people think they can do. In that case, I believe the only way for the lions to even reach Rayquaza would be to form the lion ladder I mentioned earlier. Or tower in this case. Let's say, hypothetically, all of the lions were able to stack up on top of each other on a perfectly straight tower with good enough balance. Using the measurements from before, the tower will be about 76,000 miles tall, or 1.2 million kilometers. To put that to scale, the exosphere, the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere, can extend up to 6,200 miles or 10,000 kilometers. This makes the tower approximately 120 times larger than the atmosphere. Damn, it really makes you realize how much a billion actually is. Still, even with the rules I mentioned earlier, this tower would not help the lions at all. Firstly, with each lion weighing almost 600 pounds, all of the lions would be completely crushed flat by their own sheer weight. Secondly, after doing the math again, you only need about 1 million lions to leave the atmosphere, meaning pretty much every single lion not already crushed would be stranded out in space with no way to breathe, eventually dying from a lack of oxygen. Lastly, even if the last two things didn't happen, there's no way to guarantee that the lions partway up the tower wouldn't fall and lose balance due to changes in the air or, oh, I don't know, a blast of wind from the sky god. This means that if the tower doesn't work, the lions can't reach Rayquaza and are left to do jack shit. But I get it, this is a boring conclusion. So, let's say Rayquaza is bound to the confines of the atmosphere. Let me remind you that Rayquaza did this to a meteor. So if you think that it wouldn't be able to steamroll through the lions in the same way, you are sorely mistaken. So to recap, with the only means of reaching Rayquaza being the infamous Lion Tower, the three main issues, being crushed under the weight of 1 billion lions, being stranded out in space, and slight gusts of wind knocking the whole thing down, basically make it so that Rayquaza can single-handedly defeat all of the lions by doing absolutely fucking nothing. Seriously, this debate isn't even about Pokemon versus lions anymore. It's just about how much bullshit and plot armor do the lions even need to come close to beating the Pokemon. Spoiler alert, they could have all the plot armor in the world and still not even come close to winning. So there you have it, that's how one single Pokemon can defeat 1 billion lions. This is the first video I'm making, so I really appreciate it if you told me in the comments what kind of stuff you want to see next or if you like this video. I mainly plan to just talk about anything relating to video games or just anything that I like. I have a couple ideas I'm working on, including one relating to Five Nights at Freddy's, so if that sounds interesting to you, subscribe and keep your eyes peeled for when it comes out. Also, some of the music in this video was made by me, so if you want to check it out, I have another channel where I upload all of my music. Anyways, that's about it. I'll see you all in the next one.